Hi there, Michelle here from Dreaming English, and today I'm going to have a conversation with Anand about some things, some activities that my students can do during the YouTube camp that I'll be running with my coworkers on six things that they can do, six activities like starting their YouTube channel, doing a YouTube short, and six different things that they can do during their time with us during this virtual camp. Are you ready? Let's go.
Thank you. Yes, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. So as we were talking before, trying to come up with some ideas of activities for our YouTube camp. So our camp has so far we have 13 students. I'm not sure how many will show up because it's summertime, but my students are a mix of ages probably 14 to 18, and they're a mix of students that have some experience with YouTube and some that have no experience with YouTube. And so I'm trying to come up with maybe like six things for somebody that has no experience with YouTube, six things that they could do, like start their channel, like make their, brand it, name it, and all those things. And then six things for the students that might have experience. And that's where I'm struggling with. So I came up with, and that's where I also would like to hear from you. In my team, I have a team of four or five of us that are trying to come up with ideas. But we thought maybe because you have a YouTube channel that seems to be very successful, that you might have some ideas for the students that have no experience, and then maybe some other ideas for some students that have some experience with YouTube.
First of all, when I had created my channel, I was also knowing nothing about YouTube. I was totally new. Okay, so I created my Gmail ID. Okay, and with ID I made a YouTube account. And after making an account, first of all I put videos, and after putting some videos, I come to know that that I have to customize my channel. I have to put the channel banner, so many things, how to make thumbnails, and these are the things. So, initially what happens when we start YouTube channel, we really know nothing, okay? And the fact is that when we start doing things, then we find a requirement that what should we do next. Then we go and Google it or find it, how to make a banner, how to customize our channel, how to make a YouTube thumbnail. So these are the most basic things on YouTube. First of all, you should have Gmail ID, and with Gmail ID, there should be an account, YouTube account. And after creating an account, you will have to, decorate it like we decorate our homes. Just like this, we also decorate our YouTube channels with YouTube banner, with so many things. We write our about section, what are we going to do on YouTube. And like after that, we create a video and we put the thumbnail, okay, on video, that our video is reflecting to this topic. And just in this way, things happen.
Yeah, I think when I first started, which is now 2 years ago, and it's been a slow progression for myself. It's been like a hobby. I had no idea. I think the first thumbnails that I made were awful because I thought, well, maybe let me just make a PowerPoint with a PowerPoint slide as a thumbnail. And I now know that that's not really good, and that you really need to make something that is going to look really good on the small little screen that's going to get people to want to click on it. But that is also has to do with what your video is about, because if you make something that is has nothing to do with your video, then it's going to be what they call clickbait, and maybe you'll get a lot of people that click, but they're not going to watch. And so it's been, again, I knew nothing, and I went to YouTube. How do you start your YouTube channel? What are the first steps? And watch videos on how to do that for sure.
So how did I start my YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. So yeah, how?
First of all, I started my YouTube channel for talking with people. Okay, so I just, I think my first conversation was, not my first video was conversational videos. because I was teaching my students. So in lockdown, I thought that, now I'm sitting idly. So I thought, let's do something productive. So I started putting a mathematics video on my channel. I put 2, 3 mathematics video. After some time, some days, I realized that no, this is good time to improve my English and talk with the people all around the world that I was passionate about always. So I uh, did a conversation with one of my friends, and I put that video on YouTube channel, and I written on this video that if somebody want to talk with me in English, then definitely, they should consult me on that Gmail. Okay, so in this way, people started, coming with my Gmail, and I started talking with them on my YouTube channel, and I talked with so many people from all around the world, like someone was from Nepal, someone was from Bangladesh, someone was from Pakistan, as well as Kazakhstan, so many people. And I was enjoying. Meanwhile, I thought, let me talk with native speakers, native English speakers. So I took the, Cambly app to talk with native speakers. And, later on in this way, I found this process very enjoyable to talk with people from all around the world.
Yeah, I mean, same here. Like when we started, it was my daughter who wanted to be a YouTuber because she's young and she was 9 at the time, and she's like, I want to do a YouTube channel. So I said, well, let's do something educational, and we were studying Spanish, so she had the idea, well, let's do a similar channel to this one where they're drawing pictures, and the person's drawing pictures and he's like using his hands to teach Spanish. So we're like, okay, let's do that, because my daughter's very artsy. And so that's how we get started. Of course, like what I picked to do was not an easy thing to do, because it required to have one camera looking down at a drawing board and one camera to look at us, and not anything that's very easy to edit. So, but I was very fortunate that we have a program that I could join for like very little money a year, and I can borrow equipment from them, and they could teach me how to do the editing, which is awesome, because otherwise I would not have been able to pick something so complicated, right, to start with. But that's what I'm learning about too. Like, as far as like doing YouTube, is to try to figure out something that is sustainable. Like doing those videos, I do enjoy making them, but they take a lot of time. I think that first video that I made, it took me like, I started over a bunch of times because I was messing up on the editing, and I think it took me like maybe 10 hours to edit a video that is 11 minutes long. And that's not sustainable, right? So now I've been doing more conversations like you and just enjoying talking to people around the world. And it's a much more sustainable thing, because we can have a conversation and maybe there's a little bit of editing. Like, say we're having this conversation and the video freezes, then I'm going to cut that part out, but I don't have a lot of editing to do. So it's something that I can like keep up with. But I still have those other videos that I make, but they're not being posted as much because they're going to be a lot more effort.
Right. So yes, it's true. It is the truth that when we start our new channel, okay, we have to do lots of hardship to even edit a small part of the video, and it takes hours, and it is reality. Okay, so yes.
Yeah, and I think like another thing too is trying to come up with ideas, like trying to figure out what you're passionate about. Because if you're just like, okay, the most popular videos on YouTube are, video gaming, but you don't like video gaming, then that doesn't make any sense to do that. So like, to decide to come onto YouTube to be sharing something that you're passionate about, it's going to be a lot more easier and sustainable, I think. Like for you, like you came up first, you were doing the math, which maybe you are passionate about math, but you also were very passionate about like learning English and speaking to people around the world. So that, probably makes more sense to make those type of videos.
Yes, I came up with the mathematics, but later on I thought, my heart told me that no, you can do one thing better. That, and I had been always fascinated to, talk with people from all around the world. So I thought, this social media platform will be very good for me to talk with people from all around the world, and I will enjoy it. And I start doing it. And right now I'm here.
Yeah. And so that's awesome. And so as I'm trying to come up with some ideas, like I came up with like the students to create their account, the students to customize it and make their channel art and that kind of thing, write their about section. And then like start making some videos, experiment with different formats. Like there's now YouTube Shorts, which was first, I guess, in India, but now has rolled out to the US, so they could try that. And then I'm trying to come up with stuff for like people. Like I have some students that have like 100 subscribers, which is obviously not as many as you have, but like still it's somebody that obviously is not brand new. And so what are things for them to do? And I thought, well, one of the things that was after I got going, it's like, okay, how do you make an end card? How do you make those little, when you get those little eyes that say click here, you might be interested in this, and I forget what that's called. But all those little things that you can do to customize your your videos, like the end cards, is like you want your viewer to continue watching your videos and not someone else's. So and then that little icon that you have, like that is in the corner, so people can just click on it to subscribe. So those little things that they can do if they've already made their YouTube channel and they've already done their channel art and those things. So do you think of any other things, like once you kind of have started, what would be the things for the more the person that's not the super beginner?
Yes. And as well as, once when you will come to learn these things, then experience is the, most, I think, the beneficial knowledge in this world. So once we start working on anything, I mean, not only on YouTube channel, anything, then, new ideas comes in our mind, and that improves us. So I think, yes, you told me that, creating channel banner and lot. After doing these things, there are something that only can be learned by doing the work. I think on YouTube also, you can
Yeah.
learn before, because you will, when you will do those things, you will, commit mistake, and you will learn from that mistake and that experience. So yes, there is something which can be learned by doing only.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that, I mean, those are things like I learned, like I had just not given much effort at first to make the thumbnail, and learn that, oh, actually the thumbnail and the title are like some of the most important things. And at first I didn't put any of these end cards and stuff, and I learned how to do that. It actually wasn't very hard, but it was just another thing to learn. And as I'm like looking through, like YouTube has something called the YouTube Academy, Creator Academy, which is great, but there's so much to learn. And I'm obviously, we're not going to be able to teach everything to these students, but I think the idea of it is just to teach some of these things and to say, okay, here is this lovely tool that YouTube has provided for you with all these creators that are making these videos, how to make your end cards. You could have a video, like I watched how to make channel art with Canva, because my channel art at first wasn't very good. I did it on my phone and it wasn't that good. So like, okay, how can I make channel art on Canva and be able to really customize it? And still, even with that, it was trial and error to make it and then post it. Things are being cut off if they're going to look at it on here. So keep on really kind of trying it out and re-editing it and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's uh, what I was asking you, I forgot.
Yeah, it's just like if you have things that you would think of for like those more experienced students, like what would you tell the more experienced student? Like what would be your advice to them, maybe?
My experience will advice will be that, that one should come on YouTube, because it is a beautiful platform in this world right now. I think it gives you variety of opportunities at the same time. Uh, as well, I will tell them that come here if you start doing the passionate thing that you are really passionate in, and don't be worried, don't be in hurry. Okay, it takes time. It may take time. Okay, so and the basic requirement on YouTube is that keep improving. So I will tell them, whether it is video creation or video editing, or anything, or your on, the things that you want to deliver on YouTube, you must keep improving. That's only one thing that can, make one successful YouTuber.
Yeah. I mean, I think like one of the things I've been watching a lot is like, the whole idea of perfectionism, right? Like at first, some people might say, oh, I'm not going to put anything on until it's perfect. And that can get in your way. And basically it's kind of like fear, like your fear of not having that really good video out there. And I decided, like, I knew my first video that I was going to put out was not going to be great, but that I decided that the whole thing I like about YouTube is that you can kind of watch and see how people have improved from their very first videos and how they improve over time. So like to not be afraid and not be like this whole idea that, oh, I can't put anything out on YouTube until it's perfect, to like not let that get in the way of you actually like posting something.
Yeah, that's a great thing. You mentioned a keynote here that one should not think to be perfect at once or at initiation. Okay, because it is very yes, sometimes we think that we are not perfect, and we do not start our work, and because of it, one day our own mind make us negative. No, I'm not able to do anything. But when we start doing things, we improve it, and we become more positive. Okay, so yeah, one should not look for perfection initially. I will tell them, yes, start it, okay, and keep doing the things that you want to do, keep improving. But one thing is most important and most requirement here, that keeps improving.
Yeah. And I think like, to one of the things that I would say is that as you're going, like YouTube is your friend as far as learning. Like if you see something that someone else doing and you want to figure out how to do that, basically go into YouTube and kind of type it in, and there's probably some like how to do this, like how to make end cards, how to do that. And there's going to be some videos that are going to teach you step by step how to do that. And that's how I learned most of it. Like I said, I joined this club where they taught me how to do some editing, but the club I joined didn't really know anything about YouTube. So I had to learn everything about posting to YouTube and making those channel arts and everything by looking on YouTube for some how-to. And that's, I think the biggest thing is to just like, if you're going to start on YouTube, it's like to be able to be somebody that can learn on your own and to learn from other people. For instance, and I don't want to keep you too long, like my son, he's going to be going to school next year to be an engineer. And he learned all this stuff on robotics. And I asked the robotics, coach, like, how did he learn this stuff? I don't know. Like he said, he was all self-taught. He's always watching YouTube. And it's kind of like, obviously he's not a YouTuber, but all the things that he learned about how to CAD and how to build that robot, he learned by watching all these YouTube videos.
Right. Right now, your YouTube is your biggest, teacher. So yes, one can learn whatever they want to learn on YouTube, because every sort of content is available here. And I think in better way that you can easily, consume it.
Yeah. So, well, I didn't want to take up too much of your time because I don't know how much time you have, but I want to thank you so much. And we are going to be doing this. I think the dates that we have are like, they're between July 12th and the 22nd. They're on weekdays, but I'll let you know because you had agreed, thankfully and gratefully, to be a speaker. And that's going to be awesome to have our students be able to talk to somebody and ask questions to somebody that's been successful. And I think very interesting to speak to somebody that is like on the other side of the world too, and get that perspective as well.
Really, it will be. I'm very excited to, take part in it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I see like your channel growing, and you like have these awesome thumbnails, and been watching some of your videos, and thank you so much. I really enjoy your work too.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm trying to improve myself more. Right now, I think, yes, it is very basic requirement for me that I should improve a lot, like in the content, quality of content and thumbnail, and these things I have to improve.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, thank you again.
Thank you.